The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has brought you here to receive this message, and I assure you it is no coincidence. Now, let us delve into the heart of our discussion. What does it truly mean to not force anything? In the world we inhabit, we are constantly bombarded with messages urging us to push harder, to strive relentlessly, to force our way through obstacles. Society has conditioned us to believe that success and fulfillment can only be achieved through ceaseless struggle and effort. But I tell you, my dear friends, this notion is nothing but an illusion, a veil that obscures the true nature of reality. The law of assumption, which I have spoken about extensively, teaches us that our external world is nothing but a reflection of our inner state. Every circumstance, every person, every event in our lives is a manifestation of our consciousness. When we truly understand and embody this truth, we realize that there is no need to force anything in the external world. For when we change our inner world, our outer world naturally aligns itself to match our new state of being. Consider for a moment the growth of a flower. Does the flower strain and struggle to bloom? Does it force its petals to unfurl? No. My friends, the flower simply is. It exists in perfect harmony with the natural laws of the universe, allowing itself to unfold in divine timing. The flower knows at the deepest level of its being that it is destined to bloom. It does not doubt, it does not fear, it does not force. It simply allows the process to unfold. You, my dear listeners, are no different from that flower. You, too, are a perfect expression of the divine containing within you all the potential of the universe. Just as the flower doesn't need to force its bloom, you do not need to force your desires into manifestation. Your only task is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end, and to allow the natural laws of the universe to bring your desire into physical form. But I hear you ask, Wayne, how can I simply allow things to unfold when I have bills to pay, deadlines to meet, and responsibilities to fulfill? This, my friends, is where the true power of your imagination comes into play. You see, the outer world that seems so solid and unchangeable is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your inner world. When you change your inner world, when you assume the state of the wish fulfilled, the outer world has no choice but to conform. Let me share with you a story that illustrates this principle. I once knew a man who was struggling financially. He had tried everything to improve his situation, working longer hours, cutting expenses, even taking on additional jobs. But the more he pushed and forced, the more elusive financial security seemed to become. One day, this man attended one of my lectures and heard me speak about the law of assumption. Something resonated deeply within him, and he decided to put this principle to the test. Instead of continuing to struggle and force his way to financial abundance, he began to assume the state of a wealthy man. He imagined himself living in a beautiful home, driving a luxurious car, and having more than enough money to meet all his needs and desires. At first, nothing seemed to change in his outer world, but he persisted in his assumption, living each day from the state of the wish fulfilled. He didn't force anything in his external reality. He simply allowed his inner transformation to unfold. And then, my friends, the miracle occurred. Within a matter of weeks, opportunities began to present themselves. A business venture that he had invested in years ago suddenly took off. An unexpected inheritance came his way. His career took a turn for the better, with promotions and raises following in quick succession. This man's story is not unique. It is a testament to the power that lies within each and every one of you. When you cease to force and struggle, when you allow yourself to simply be in the state of the wish fulfilled, the entire universe conspires to bring your desires into manifestation. Now, I want you to take a moment to reflect on your own life. Where have you been forcing things? Where have you been struggling and striving, pushing against the current of life? Perhaps it's in your relationships, your career, your health, or your spiritual journey. Whatever area of your life feels like a constant battle, I invite you to release the need to force and control. Instead, I urge you to turn within. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself already in possession of your desire. Feel the joy, the peace, the satisfaction of having your wish fulfilled. Allow that feeling to permeate every cell of your body, every corner of your being. This, my friends, is the state from which miracles are born. But some of you may be thinking, Wayne, this sounds too good to be true. Surely we must take action in the physical world to achieve our goals. And to this I say, of course, inspired action has its place. But there is a world of difference between inspired action that flows effortlessly from your assumed state and the forced action that comes from a place of lack and desperation. When you live from the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find that the right actions come naturally to you. You won't have to force yourself to take steps towards your goal instead. You will be naturally guided to take the perfect action at the perfect time. This is the dance of co-creation. With the universe, you assume the state, and the universe provides the means. Let us delve deeper into this concept of not forcing anything. It extends far beyond the realm of material manifestation. In fact, it touches every aspect of our existence. Consider your spiritual journey, for instance. How many of you have found yourselves forcing meditation, struggling to quiet your mind, or pushing yourself to attain higher states of consciousness? My dear friend, spirituality is not a destination to be reached through force and struggle. It is your natural state of being, waiting to be recognized and embraced. When you force your spiritual practices, you create resistance. You set up a duality between where you are and where you think you should be. But I tell you, you are already that which you seek to become. Instead of forcing your spiritual growth, simply assume the state of being spiritually awakened. Feel the peace, the clarity, the oneness that comes with spiritual enlightenment. Live from that state, and you will find that your spiritual practices become a joy rather than a chore. Meditation will flow effortlessly. Insights will come naturally, and your connection to the divine will deepen without any sense of struggle or force. The same principle applies to your relationships. How many of you have found yourselves forcing connections, trying to make relationships work through sheer willpower? Perhaps you've tried to change your partner, or you've bent yourself out of shape trying to fit someone else's expectations. My friends, this is not the way of love. True love, like everything else in this universe, cannot be forced. It must be allowed to blossom naturally. Instead of trying to force a relationship into a certain mold, assume the state of being in a loving, harmonious relationship. Feel the joy, the mutual respect, the deep connection, live from that state, and watch as your relationships transform. If you're single and desiring a partner, don't force yourself into relationships out of fear or desperation. Instead, assume the state of being in a loving relationship. Feel the love, the companionship, the shared joy, live from that state. And the right person will be drawn into your life naturally, without any need for force or manipulation. Now let's turn our attention to the realm of health and well-being. How many of you have forced yourself to follow strict diets or grueling exercise regimens, only to find yourself right back where you started? The body, my friends, responds not to force, but to the state of consciousness we assume. Instead of forcing your body to conform to a certain ideal, assume the state of perfect health and vitality. Feel the energy coursing through your veins, the strength in your muscles, the clarity in your mind, live from that state. And you will find that healthy choices come naturally to you. Exercise becomes a joy rather than a chore. Nourishing foods become appealing, while those that don't serve your well-being lose their allure. Remember, your body is a perfect reflection of your inner state. When you assume the state of health and vitality, your body has no choice but to align with that assumption. This is not to say that you should neglect proper care of your physical vessel, but rather that such care will flow naturally from your assumed state of perfect health. Now I want to address a concern that may be arising in some of your minds. You might be thinking, but Wayne, if I don't force anything, won't I become lazy and complacent? Won't I lose my drive and ambition? My dear friends, nothing could be further from the truth. When you cease to force and struggle, when you begin to live from the state of the wish fulfilled, you tap into a wellspring of energy and inspiration that far surpasses anything that could be achieved through force. You see, force and struggle arise from a state of lack and limitation. When you push and strive, you are essentially saying to the universe, I don't have this, and I must struggle to get it. But when you assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you are declaring to the universe, I am this, I have this, I embody this. From this state of abundance and fulfillment, inspired action flows naturally. You don't lose your drive, rather your drive is transformed. Instead of being driven by fear and lack, you are moved by joy and inspiration. Consider the great achievers throughout history, the artists, the inventors, the visionaries. Did they force their creations into existence? No. My friends, they allowed their creations to flow through them. They assumed the state of the accomplished artist, the successful inventor, the revered visionary. And from that state, their greatest works emerged effortlessly. Michelangelo, when asked how he created his magnificent sculpture of David, famously replied, I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free. He didn't force the statue into existence. He allowed it to emerge from the marble guided by his inner vision. Einstein didn't force his theories into existence through grueling mental labor. His groundbreaking insights came to him in moments of relaxation and play. He assumed the state of knowing, and the knowledge flowed through him. You, too, have the same creative power within you. When you assume the state of being who you wish to be, of having what you desire to have, of knowing what you long to know, you open yourself to the infinite creative power of the universe. Ideas will flow to you. Opportunities will present themselves, and inspired action will arise naturally. But some of you may still be struggling with the concept of not forcing anything. You may be thinking of all the times in your life when force seemed necessary, when pushing through obstacles led to success. And to this, I say, look deeper. Examine those experiences closely, and you will find that what appeared to be false was actually in alignment. When you are aligned with your true desires, when you are living from the state of the wish fulfilled, what looks like effort from the outside is actually joyfully joy. It's not false, but flow. It's not struggle, but surrendered action. Take the example of an athlete performing at the peak of their ability. From the outside, it may look like they are exerting tremendous force and effort. But ask any athlete in a state of peak performance, and they will tell you about being in the zone, a state where action flows effortlessly, where time seems to slow down and where they feel at one with their activity. This is not false. This is allowing. This is living from the state of being a peak performer and allowing that state to express itself through inspired action. The same principle applies to every area of your life. When you assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, what appears to be effort is actually effortless expression of your assumed state. You are not forcing anything. You are allowing your inner state to manifest in the outer world. Now, I want to address another aspect of not forcing anything, the art of divine timing. In our fast-paced world, we often fall into the trap of trying to force things to happen on our timeline. We want our desires to manifest immediately, and when they don't, we begin to doubt, to worry, and to force. But, my dear friends, the universe operates on its own divine schedule. Your only task is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled and to allow the natural laws of the universe to bring it into manifestation in the perfect time and in the perfect way. Consider the gestation of a child. Does the mother force the child to develop faster? Does she try to hurry the process along? No, she trusts in the natural process of gestation. She knows that in the perfect time, the child will be born. Your desires are no different. They have their own gestation period, their own divine timing. When you find yourself tempted to force the timing of your manifestation, remind yourself that you live in an eternal now. In your imagination, your desire is already fulfilled. There is no waiting, no forcing, no hurrying. There is only the blissful state of being, of having, of experiencing your desire as a present fact. Live from this state, and you will find that divine timing brings your desires into manifestation in ways far more wonderful than you could have orchestrated through force and control. The universe has an infinite intelligence that far surpasses our limited perspective. When we surrender to this intelligence, when we allow rather than force, miracles unfold in our lives. But what about when things seem to go wrong? What about when life presents us with challenges and obstacles? Surely then you might think we must force our way through. But I tell you, my dear listeners, even in the face of apparent adversity, the principle of not forcing anything holds true. When challenges arise, instead of meeting them with force and resistance, meet them with a calm knowing that all is working out for your highest good. Assume the state of someone who has already overcome this challenge. Feel the relief, the joy, the growth that comes from having moved through this experience. From this state, you will be guided to take inspired action. Solutions will present themselves. What seemed like an insurmountable obstacle will become a stepping stone to greater growth and expansion. Remember, the outside world is a reflection of your inner state. When you assume the state of having overcome the challenge, the outer world must reshape itself to match your assumption. This principle extends even to the most mundane aspects of your daily life. How often do you find yourself forcing your way through traffic, pushing to meet deadlines, struggling to complete your daily tasks? I invite you to bring the principle of not forcing anything into every moment of your day. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of forcing your way through with stress and frustration, assume the state of someone who always arrives at their destination calmly and on time. Feel the peace, the ease, the perfect timing. You may be surprised to find traffic clearing unexpectedly or to discover a new route that gets you to your destination effortlessly. When facing a deadline, instead of forcing yourself to work longer and harder, assume the state of someone who always completes their work with ease and excellence. Feel the satisfaction of a job well done, the peace of mind that comes from being ahead of schedule. From this state, you'll find yourself working with increased focus and efficacy and often completing your tasks in less time than you thought possible. The key, my friends, is to shift your focus from forcing the outer world to assuming the desired state in your inner world. This is the essence of the law of assumption. Your outer world has no choice but to conform to your inner assumptions. Now, I want to touch upon a delicate subject, the forcing of beliefs and ideologies. In our world, we often see individuals and groups attempting to force their beliefs upon others. This leads to conflict, division, and suffering. But when we understand the principle of not forcing anything, we realize that true change never comes through force. Instead of trying to force others to adopt your beliefs or perspective, simply assume the state of living in a world where harmony and understanding prevail. Feel the joy of mutual respect and appreciation for diverse viewpoints. Live from this state, and you will find that your interactions with others naturally become more harmonious. You may even find that others become more open to your perspective without any need for force or argument. This principle can transform not only your personal life, but also our collective existence. Imagine a world where instead of forcing change through conflict and struggle. We allow change to unfold naturally by assuming the state of, oh, this is the true path to global transformation. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize that the principle of not forcing anything is not about passivity or inaction. It is about aligning with the creative power of the universe, about co-creating your reality through the power of your assumptions. When you cease to force and struggle, when you begin to live from the state of the wish fulfilled, you open yourself to infinite possibilities. You allow the wisdom of the universe to guide you. You become a channel through which miracles can flow into the world. So, my dear friends, I invite you to embrace this principle in every aspect of your life. Release the need to force, to struggle, to control. Instead, turn within. Use the power of your wonderful human imagination to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Feel it, embody it in every cell of your being. Remember, the outer world is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. Change your inner state, and the outer world must change to match it. This is the law, immutable and eternal. As you leave this gathering today, I encourage you to see your life through this new life. Where have you been forcing things? Where can you release the struggle and simply assume the state of the wish fulfilled? Start with something small that you wish. Perhaps assume the state of someone who always finds a perfect parking spot. Feel the ease, the perfect timing, the delightful surprise of always finding the ideal spot exactly when you need it. Live from this state and watch how your parking experience is transformed. Then, as you become more comfortable with this principle, apply it to bigger aspects of your life. Your career, your relationships, your health, your spiritual growth, all of these can be transformed when you cease to force and begin to allow. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by external forces. You are a divine creator shaping your reality through the power of your assumptions. The entire universe is within you, waiting to be expressed. So go forth, my dear friends, and live from the state of the wish fulfilled. Don't force anything. Allow your desires to unfold naturally, guided by the infinite wisdom of the universe. Trust in the perfect timing of all things. Know that as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, all of creation moves to bring it into manifestation. You are loved, you are powerful, you are divine. The entire universe is conspiring for your highest good. Relax into this knowing and watch as miracles unfold in your life. And with that, my dear friends, I bid you farewell. But remember, this is not an ending, but a beginning of a new way of living, a new way of being, a life free from force and struggle, a life lived from the state of the wish fulfilled. Go in peace, go in love, go in the absolute knowing that you are one with the creative power of the universe. Your desires are waiting to be claimed. Assume the state, live from the end, and allow the miracles to unfold. Thank you. And may your lives be filled with the joy of effortless manifestation. Let me tell you a marvelous thing. Your consciousness, your I am-ness, is the only reality. Everything that you perceive in your world, every experience in your daily life, an expression of your consciousness made manifest. The art of mental discipline. Tonight I shall share with you how to master the divine art of mental discipline. For you see, your thoughts are not mere passive occurrences in your mind. They are living, breathing seeds that must inevitably grow into the circumstances of your life. Let us begin with the fundamental truth. Every moment of your life you are thinking. But are you thinking from the end? Are you thinking from the state of your wish fulfilled? This is the crux of mental discipline. The law of consciousness. I want you to understand this profound truth. Whatever you are conscious of being, you become. This is the law, and it cannot fail. If you persist in maintaining a particular state in your consciousness, it must externalize itself in your world. Consider this. When you go to your bedroom tonight, you will naturally assume that you are in your bed. You don't hope you're in your bed. You don't wish you were in your bed. You simply are in your bed. This is the naturalness I speak of. This is the state cause that creates the 4 pillars of mental discipline. Let me share with you what I call the 4 pillars of mental discipline. These are the fundamental principles that will allow you to master your thoughts and therefore master your life. First pillar, the state of I am, is your conscious, your truth, self. Whatever follows your I am, you become. When you say I'm tired, you become tired. When you say I am wealthy, you become wealthy. The I am in you is God Himself, and whatever you attach to it becomes your reality. Practice this throughout your day. Become aware of what you're attaching to I am. Are you saying I am sick? I am broke. I am unlucky. Change these statements. Begin to attach to your I am only what you wish to be true. Second pillar, living from the end. This is crucial, my dear friends. You must learn to think of you from the end. What I mean by this? I mean you must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. If you desire wealth, you must think from wealth, not about wealth. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire to be a successful author. Don't think about becoming an author. Instead, assume the feeling of being a successful author now. What would you think? How would you walk? How would you talk? Assume that state now. Third pillar, the law of revision. Here is a wonderful technique I've used countless times. At the end of each day, revise the events that didn't go as you wished. See them play out exactly as you would have wanted them to occur. You see, memory is imagination. The past exists only in your mind, and you can revise it. By revising the day's events, you're actually restructuring your consciousness, which will then create new and better circumstances in your future. Fourth pillar, persistent assumption. Now let me share with you something profound about persistence. It's not enough to imagine your desire once or twice. You must persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you tend to it, and you trust in the law of growth. The same is true with your thoughts. The practice of mental discipline. Let me now to the practication of these principles. This is how you discipline your thoughts in your daily life. Morning practice. When you wake in the morning before you rise from your bed, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of having what you desire. Don't just visualize it, feel it. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the completeness of having your desire fulfilled. Daytime vigilance. Throughout your day, watch your mental diet. Your thoughts are like food for your consciousness, boiled food. Then why feed your mind with negative thoughts? When a negative thought arises, don't fight it. Simply replace it with its positive opposite. Remember, what you resist persists. What you accept and replace dissolves. Evening revision. Before sleep, review your day. But don't review it as it happened. Review as you would have wanted to happen. This is the art of revision, and it's one of the most powerful tools you possess. The power of feeling. Let me share something crucial about feeling. It's not enough to simply think the right thoughts. You must feel them to be true. The feeling is the secret. When you feel, you create with the full power of your consciousness. Feel the reality of your desire now. Feel its naturalness. Feel as though it were already accomplished. For in truth, in the realm of consciousness, it is already accomplished. Overcome mental resistance. Now you might experience resistance when you begin this practice. Your rational mind might say this isn't true. This isn't real. But remember, your rational mind can only tell you what has been, not what can be. The secret is to persist despite the evidence of your senses. Your sense was created by your past thoughts. Your imagination shows you the world as it can be, created by your disciplined thoughts. The power of silent awareness. Here's a wonderful practice I want to share with you. Throughout your day, take moments of silent awareness. Become conscious of your I am-ness. Feel your existence, your beingness. From this state of pure awareness, you can more easily direct your thoughts. The art of mental construction. Think of your mind as a magnificent mansion. Each thought is a room in this mansion. Through mental discipline, you become architect of this mansion. You decide which rooms to build, which to renovate, and which to demolish. When you catch yourself in a negative thought, say to yourself, "This is not the room I choose to dwell in." Then, consciously construct a new thought. First, your desires are filled. The practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for mental discipline. When you feel grateful for something, you're acknowledging its reality in your consciousness. Practice feeling grateful for your desires as though they were already fulfilled. The law of assumption in action. Let me share with you a principle that never fails. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and then live and act from that assumption. This is the secret of mental discipline, to think, feel, and act from the end. If you desire, the feeling of wealth now. How does a wealthy person think? How does a wealthy person feel? Assume that state and maintain it despite all evidence to the contrary. The power of your mental diet. Just as you carefully choose what food you eat, choose your thoughts with equal care. Your mental life determines your life experience. Feed your mind with thoughts of success, love, abundance, and joy. When negative thoughts arise, and they will, don't fight them. Simply observe them and let them pass like clouds in the sky. Then consciously choose better. The practice of mental discipline. Throughout your day, practice these principles. Watch your I am statements. Think from the end. Revise unwanted events. Persist in your assumption. Maintain a healthy mental diet. Practice gratitude. Stay in silent awareness. Remember, your consciousness is only reality. Therefore, your world is a reflection of your consciousness. By disciplining your thoughts, you literally reshape your world. Concluding words. My dear friends, remember this. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness creates your reality. By disciplining your thoughts, you're not just changing your mind, you're changing your entire world. Practice these principles. Apply them diligently. For when you master the art of mental discipline, you master the art of living itself. Let me tell you a story illustrates this principle perfectly. Risa Mimi came to me in despair about her financial situation. She had been thinking thoughts of lack, of poverty, of not enough. I asked her to do something that seemed radical at the time. To completely ignore the evidence of her senses and instead live the assumption of wealth. The continued state of awareness. You see, mental discipline isn't something you practice for an hour and then abandon. It must become your continuous state of awareness. When you wake in the morning, your first thought should be from the state of your wish fulfilled. When you walk down the street, walk as the person you wish to be. When you speak, speak from the consciousness of your desire achieved. The secret of mental persistence. Here's a wonderful secret. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining and what's real. When you persist in attaining a disciplined thought pattern, your subconscious mind must accept it as fact. And what the subconscious accepts, it must externalize in your world. The 3 states of thought. Consider these 3 states of thought. The surface thoughts. These are your casual, everything that flow your mind like leaves on a stream. The intermediate thoughts. These are your more deliberate thoughts. The ones you consciously choose to think. The deep, persistent thoughts. These are the thoughts that you have impressed upon your subconscious and feeling. Your work is to move your desired thoughts from the surface level to the deep level through conscious discipline and persistence. The art of mental rehearsal. Practice this technique before any important event in your life, rehearsing it mentally from the end. Feel the satisfaction of its perfect completion. Do this repeatedly until it feels natural and real to you. The power of I remember when. Here's another powerful technique for thought discipline. Instead of saying I want or I will, use the phrase one remember when. For a saying of want to be wealthy, say I remember when I was struggling financially before I became wealthy. This puts your mind in the position of looking back on the fulfillment of your desire rather than looking forward to it. It's a subtle but powerful shift in consciousness, the silent knowing. Develop what I call the silent knowing. This is a state of absolute certainty about your desire's fulfillment. It's not hoping, not wishing, not wanting. It's knowing. This knowing comes from disciplined thought focused on the end result. The practice of mental cleansing. Just you cleanse your mind, you must cleanse your mind. Each night before sleep, review your thoughts of the day. Which ones serve your desired end? Which ones oppose it? Consciously release the opposing thoughts and strengthen the supporting ones. The law of dual thought. Remember this principle. You cannot hold two opposing thoughts simultaneously. When you find yourself thinking an unwanted thought, immediately replace it with its positive opposite. This is mental discipline in action, the final key. And now, my dear wonderful friends, to mastering your thoughts. Is this love your present reality while simultaneously dwelling in your desired state? This seems paradoxical, but it's crucial for successful mental discipline. Don't hate where you are while trying to get where you want to be. Instead, appreciate your current meowing, absolutely knowing that your desired state is already yours in consciousness. The promise. I promise you this. If you will discipline your thoughts as I have outlined tonight, if you will persist in maintaining the consciousness your wish fulfilled, if you will live from the end rather than toward it, your world must conform to your disciplined imagination. For this is the law of consciousness. Whatever you assume to be true, whatever you persist in believing must become your reality. The daily applications. Before you tonight, let me share with you something profound about the daily application of these principles. You see, mental discipline is not merely a practice. It is a way of life. The morning protocol, when you awaken each morning. Before you even open your eyes, lie still in your bed and practice this protocol. First, feel your I am-ness. Feel your existence, your beingness. This is God within you, the only creative power there is. Then, from this state of pure awareness, consciously choose the thoughts you will entertain for day. Remember, the first hour of your morning shapes the nature of your entire day. Guard these precious moments with complete awareness. The state akin to sleep. There's something marvelous about the moments just before sleep and just after waking. In these drowsy states, your subconscious mind to new impressions. Use these golden moments wisely. In this state akin to sleep, impress upon your mind the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it, live it, be it. Be it. Let this be the last state of consciousness you experience before sleep claims you. Secret of mental posture through the day, as your physical posture affects how you feel and perform. Your mental posture determines what you attract and create. Stand tall in your mind. Walk through your day from the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Speak, act. And with detail of this elevated state of being. The art of mental forgetting. Here's a profound secret many miss. The art of mental discipline includes knowing what to forget. You must learn to forget the old story, the old limitations. When the old story tries to assert itself, and it will gently but firmly dismiss it. Say to yourself, that was then. This is now. I choose to dwell in the consciousness of my wish fulfilled. The power of repeated assumption. Let me share with you something crucial about mental discipline. It's not enough to assume your desire once or twice. You must live in that assumption until it becomes your dominant feeling. Think of it like this. When you move to a new home, at first it feels strange, unfamiliar, but through continued living there, it becomes natural, familiar. The same principle applies to your new mental state. The practice of mental fidelity. Be faithful to your disciplined thoughts as you would be faithful to a beloved spouse. Don't flirt with negative thoughts. Don't entertain doubts. Stay true to your true state of consciousness. Remember, what you are faithful to, you create. What you are loyal to in consciousness must manifest in your world. The law of mental equivalence. Understanding this law is crucial. For every outer condition, there must be an inner equivalent. Your external world is simply the reflection of your disciplined or undisciplined thoughts. Want to change your outer world? Change your inner equivalent through disciplined thought and feeling. the Sabbath of the mind. Practice what I call the Sabbath your day. Periods throughout your day, when you completely rest from effort and simply dwell in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. These mental Sabbaths are crucial. They allow your new thoughts to take root and grow without the interference of doubt or anxiety. The palpable conviction in the power of your disciplined thoughts. This conviction comes through practice and experience. Test these principles in small things first, then graduate to larger desires. Remember, the law works the same whether you are manifesting a parking space or a palace. The only difference is in your level of conviction. The art of mental acceptance. Accept, truly accept, that your consciousness is the only reality. Your world is simply consciousness objectified. Once you accept this truth, mental this to practice, but a joyous responsibility. Finoctus. The final practice. And now, my dear friends, let me give you one final practice before we part. Tonight, when you lay your head upon your pillow, do this. Feel the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it with all your heart. Enjoy the satisfaction having what you desire. Fall asleep in this feeling. For remember, the feeling is the secret. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation, the eternal truth. As we conclude this evening, remember this eternal truth. You are not seeking something outside yourself. You are simply selecting a state of consciousness to occupy. Through mental discipline, you choose which state you will dwell in. The promise renewed. I promise you this practice, these principles faithfully maintain mental consistently, and your world must by law conform to your disciplined imagination. For consciousness is the only reality, and your disciplined thoughts are the tools with which you shape that reality. The final word. Go forth tonight with this knowledge. You are not a helpless victim of your thoughts. You are the master of your mind, the author of your experience, the creator of your reality. Through disciplined thought you can and will create the life you desire. Remember, your consciousness is God, and your disciplined imagination to this infinite creative power. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it constantly. And now, as we conclude this evening, take a moment to feel the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it with all your heart, know it with all your being, for in this feeling lies the power that transforms your world. Test this law. Prove it to yourself. For in the testing lies your freedom, and in the proving lies your power. Thank you, and good night. In this grand theater of life, we are all actors playing our parts in the divine drama. Yet, how many of us truly understand the power we possess to shape our reality? How often do we allow the voice of reason to overshadow the whispers of our imagination? Tonight, we shall unravel these mysteries and awaken to the truth that lies dormant within each of us. Let us begin by understanding the nature of belief. Belief, my dear friends, is not merely a mental assent to an idea. It is a state of consciousness, a feeling of certainty that transcends the limitations of our physical senses. When you truly believe something, you do not need external evidence to support it. Your belief becomes the evidence. Now, you might wonder, Wayne, how can I believe something when all reason and logic seem to deny its possibility? This is where the magic lies. You see, reason is but a servant of your assumptions. It faithfully presents you with evidence that supports your current beliefs. But what if I told you that you have the power to change those beliefs, and in doing so, transform your entire world? Consider for a moment the story of the Wright brothers. When they claimed that man could fly, reason denied it. Logic scoffed at the very idea, yet their unwavering belief in the possibility of flight led to one of the greatest technological revolutions in human history. They chose to believe it even when reason denied it. So, how do we cultivate this power of belief? The first step, my friends, is to recognize that you're imagining our stability. Your imagination is not substantial faculty for daydreaming. It is the creative power of God within you. When you imagine, you are literally shaping the substance of reality. To believe it when reason denies, you must learn to live from the end. This means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled here and now, regardless of what your physical state is to you. If you desire financial abundance, you must feel the relief the security, the joy that comes with having plenty, even if your bank account says otherwise. If you long for perfect health, you must embody the vitality, the energy, the wholeness of a perfectly healthy being, even if your body currently shows symptoms of illness. This practice of living from the end is not about denying your current reality. It's about choosing which reality you wish to experience. You see, every possible version of you already exists in the infinite sea of consciousness. By assuming the feeling of your desired state, you are tuning into a view that you can make it your present reality. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Wayne, this goes against everything I've been taught. How can I possibly believe something that contradicts all evidence? My dear friends, let me remind you that what you call evidence is nothing more than the outpicturing of your past assumptions. Change your assumptions, and you change the evidence. To illustrate this point, let me share with your personal experience. Years ago, I found myself in New York, broken out of work. Reason told me that I should be worried, that I should frantically search for any job I could find. But instead, I chose to live from the end. I imagined myself back in my home in Barbados, successful and financially secure. I felt the joy of being there, the warmth of the sun on my skin, the comfort of my own bed. I lived in this state day and night, despite all contrary evidence. Within a week, I received a letter from my brother inviting me back to Barbados and offering me a well-paying job. Reason would say this was mere coincidence, but I know it to be the natural outcome of living from the end of believing it when reason denied it. You see, my friends, the world is not outside of you. The world is your consciousness pushed out. The world is your consciousness pushed out. Everything you perceive is a reflection of your own mental states. When you change your mental state, when you dare to believe in the face of contrary evidence, you set in motion forces beyond your current understanding. These forces work tirelessly to bring about the conditions that match your new assumption. But how, you might ask, do we maintain this belief when everything around us seems to contradict it? The key lies in persistence. You must persist in your assumption, regardless of what your senses tell you. This persistence is not a matter of willpower or positive thinking. It is a matter of feeling, of experiencing your desire as an already accomplished fact. Imagine for a moment that you are an actor in a play. In this play, you are portraying a character who has everything you desire in your life. How would this character think? How would they feel? How would they carry themselves? Now, immerse yourself fully in this role. Live from it. Breathe it. Become it. This is what it means to persist in your assumption. As you persist in this new state of consciousness, you may find that doubts arise. Reason may whisper in your ear, telling you that you're being foolish, that you're denying reality. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your desired state. Remember, these doubts are merely the dying gasps of your old concept of self. They have no power unless you give them power. Now, let us delve deeper into the mechanics of belief. Your beliefs, my dear friends, are not just thoughts in your head. They are vibrational frequencies that you emit into the universe. Everything in this universe is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your beliefs determine the frequency at which you vibrate. And like attracts like, when you truly believe in something, you align yourself with the frequency of that thing, drawing it into your experience. Twice why it's crucial to guard your mental diet. The thoughts you entertain, the conversations you engage in, the media you consume, all of these influence your vibrational frequency. To be the thing when reason denies it is, you must be vigilant about what you allow into your consciousness. Surround yourself with ideas, people, and experiences that support your desired state. Let me share with you another powerful technique for cultivating belief in the face of contrary evidence. It's called the lobby method. As you lie in bed each night, repeating to yourself a short, concise statement that implies your desire is already fulfilled. For example, if you desire financial abundance, you might repeat, I am so grateful to be financially free. If you long for a loving relationship, your lullaby might be, I am loved and cherished by my perfect partner. As you repeat these words, feel the truth of them. Allow the feeling to permeate every cell of your being. Fall asleep in this state, knowing that your subconscious mind, which knows no limitations, is working throughout the night to align your outer world with this inner truth. Remember, my friends, your subconscious mind does not discriminate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts what you impress upon it as truth and works tirelessly to bring it into manifestation. By falling asleep in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are programming your subconscious to create that reality. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Nevin, what about action? Don't we need to do something to bring about our desires? To this, I say inspired action will naturally flow from your new state of consciousness. When you truly believe in something, when you live from the end, you will find yourself naturally taking the steps that lead to its manifestation. These actions will not feel like hard work or struggle. They will feel natural, even effortless, because they are in alignment with your new state of being. You will find doors opening, opportunities presenting themselves as if by magic. But remember, this magic is simply the natural result of your alignment with the frequency of your desire. Let us now address another common obstacle to belief, the opinions of others. Often when we share our dreams and aspirations, we are met with skepticism, even ridicule from those around us. Reason speaking through the mouths of meaning friends and family, may tell us to be realistic. We are feet on the ground. My dear friends, understand this. The opinions of others have no power over you unless you give them power. Their words are simply a reflection of their own beliefs and limitations. You are not bound by their perception of what is possible. You have the power to choose which voices you listen to, which realities you align with. In fact, the doubts and skepticism of others can serve as a powerful catalyst for strengthening your own belief. When faced with opposition, reaffirm your commitment to your desired state. Use that doubt as a springboard to dive even deeper into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For in doing so, you are not only transforming your own reality, but also expanding the realm of possibility for all those around you. Remember the words of the great William Bake, "What is now proved was once only imagined." Every great advancement in human history, every innovation, every work of art, began as a thought, an idea that reason initially denied. The inventors, the artists, the visionaries of our world are those who dared to believe it when reason did not want that. You, my dear listeners, are no different from these great minds. You possess the same creative power, the same ability to shape reality through your imagination. The only difference lies in your willingness to use this power to believe in the face of all contrary evidence. Now let us explore another powerful tool for cultivating belief, the art of revision. Each night before you sleep, take a few moments to review the events of your day, but do not review them as they occurred. Instead, revise them. See them playing out exactly as you would have wished them to be. If you had a challenging interaction with someone, replay that scene in your mind's eye, but this time see it unfolding harmoniously. If you face the setback in your goals, revise it to a stepping stone towards success. Whatever circumstances you wish to change them first in your imagination. This practice of revision serves two powerful purposes. First, it impresses upon your subconscious mind new patterns of experience, which it then works to manifest in your outer world. Second, it strengthens your ability to choose your mental stakes, to believe in your desired reality regardless of current circumstances. As you consistently practice revision, you will find that your outer world begins to conform more and more to your revised-in experiences. You are literally rewriting your past, and in doing so, reshaping your present and future. Now, my friends, I want to address a question that often arises when discussing these principles. Many ask, but Wayne, isn't this just a form of self-deception? Are we fooling ourselves by believing something that isn't true? To this I say, truth is not something external to you. Truth is not determined by your current circumstances or by the opinions of others. Truth is what you choose to conceal in your imagination. When you accept something is true in your imagination, when you live from that state with unwavering faith, it must become true in the outer world. This is the law of your being. Consider for a moment the placebo effect. Medical science has long recognized that patients often experience real physiological changes simply because they believe they are receiving effective treatment. Their belief, their assumption of health, creates actual healing in their bodies. Is this self-deception, or is it a demonstration of the incredible power of belief to shape our reality? You see, my dear friends, what you call reality is far more malleable than you have been led to believe. It is not a fixed external thing, but a fluid reflection of your own consciousness. When you truly grasp this truth, when you begin to live from it, you will find that nothing is impossible to you. But believing it when reason denies it requires courage. It requires a willingness to step out of your comfort zone, to challenge your long-held assumptions about what is possible. It requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding the true nature of reality and your place within it. This faith is not something you need to acquire. It is already within you. It is your natural state. The doubt, the skepticism, the belief in limitations, these are the acquired conditions. They are the result of your education, your upbringing, your past experiences. But they are not you. They are not the truth of your being. To reclaim your natural state of faith, of limitless belief, you must be willing to question everything you think you know. You must be willing to entertain possibilities that your rational mind may initially reject, for it is in this space of openness, of willingness to believe, that miracles occur. Imagine for a moment that you are a prisoner in a cell. For years you have lived within the confines of this cell, believing it to be the extent of your world. Then one day someone tells you that the door has always been unlocked. Would you immediately rush to open it, or would you hesitate, held back by your long-held belief in your imprisonment? This, my friends, is the situation many of us find ourselves in. We are prisoners of our own limiting beliefs, held captive by our acceptance of what reason tells us is impossible. But the door has always been unlocked. The power to step into a new reality, a reality aligned with our deepest desires, has always been within us. To believe it when reason denies it is to reach for that door handle. It is to take that step into the unknown, fueled by the certainty that what you have imagined must come to pass. It is to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, even when all external evidence seems to contradict it. As you practice this, you cultivate the art of believing. You will begin to notice changes in your outer world. These changes may be subtle at first, a shift in someone's attitude towards you, an unexpected opportunity, a solution to a problem that had seemed insurmountable. Acknowledge these changes, no matter how small, with gratitude, for they are confirmation that your new assumption is taking root, that your beliefs reshaping your reality. And as you notice these changes, let them fuel your faith. Let them strengthen your conviction that what you have imagined must come to pass. For this is the law of your being. What you believe and feel as true must objectify itself in your world. Now, my dear friends, as we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize a crucial point. The practice of believing when reason denies, it is not a one-time event. It is not a technique to be used only when you desire something specific. It is a way of life. It is a constant choosing of which states of consciousness you wish to occupy. Every moment of every day you are faced with a choice. Will you accept the limitations that reason and your senses present to you? Or will you choose to live from the state of your field desires? Will you allow your past to dictate your future? Or will you claim your power as a creative being, shaping your reality through the power of your imagination? The choice is always yours, and it is a choice you must make moment by moment, day by day. For in every moment, you are either strengthening your belief in limitation or expanding into the infinite possibilities that are your birthright. As you go forth from this place, carrying this knowledge with you, I urge you to be bold in your imagining. Dare to believe in the seemingly impossible. Dare to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, depending on the state of your wish fulfilled, especially when reason is possibility. For you are not bound by reason. You are not limited by your current circumstances. You are a divine being possessing within you the very power that creates worlds. Your imagination is God in action. When you imagine and believe, you are fulfilling your highest purpose as a co-creator with the divine. So believe, my friends. Believe with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your being. Believe in the face of all contrary evidence. Believe when reason screams its denier. Believe and watch in awe as your world transforms to match your belief. For in the end, it is not reason that shapes our lives. It is our assumptions, our chosen states of consciousness. Choose wisely, choose lovingly, and above all, choose to believe in the boundless possibilities that await you. As we conclude, I invite you to take a moment now to feel the truth of your desired state. Close your eyes if you wish, and allow yourself to sink deeply into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the love that accompanies this state. Carry this feeling with you as you leave this place. Let it inform your every interaction, your every decision. For in doing so, you are living as the person you desire to be, and your outer world must conform to this inner truth. Go forth, my friends, in the knowledge that you are divine, you are powerful beyond measure, that you have within you the ability to reshape your entire world. Use this power wisely, use it lovingly, and watch in awe as your life transforms into a living testament of the boundless possibilities that await those who dare to believe, even when reason denies it. Thank you, and may your imagination guide you to the fulfillment of your deepest desires. Remember, to believe is the key, not the other way around. Believe it, live from it, and it must be. That is the law, that is a promise, that is the truth of your being. Embrace it, embody it, and watch your world transform before your very eyes.